Coming up next on the PEG podcast.
We've never really talked publicly about things that we care about. First and foremost, we're in business to make a difference in our employees' lives, but most importantly, beyond that, in the lives of our contractors and our clients and in the community around us.
We just want to make a difference. Pay Podcast.
Well, I'm Karen Span.
I'm Lauren Hearn.
And welcome
Thank
to
you.
our PEG Making a Difference podcast. We're here today to talk about PEG and why we're in business, which is to make a difference in people's lives. And welcome.
Thank you. This studio is beautiful.
We're excited about it.
Yes, labor of love, right?
Yes.
So fun.
We've been in business since 1984 and serving St. Louis, but we also recruit nationally. And I'm just excited to talk about, well, us for the first time, but really things that are really deeply meaningful to me and to you too. And we've never really talked publicly about things that we care about. First and foremost, we're in business to make a difference in our employees' lives, but most importantly, beyond that, in the lives of our contractors and our clients and in the community around us. So tell me a little bit, you're an incredible salesperson and recruiter. Tell me a little bit about how that impacts you.
Oh, thank you. Well, gosh, so I guess the story of PEG is maybe a little bit deeper personally than I think I even realized when I first, walked through the doors here. But you guys have been in business longer than I've been alive. So,
which is pretty sad for me.
Oh, but it's fun though when I get to talk with clients who we've had relationships with for a long time, and they know, our past employees, or my mother used to work here, so that's a fun little small world story before we became PEG. So, yeah, I guess the most meaningful moments, without a doubt, and I think many recruiters can say the same story too, so we can deliver that offer letter. Because we start the relationship with candidates oftentimes in a pretty pivotal point in their lives when they're maybe laid off, maybe looking to sharpen a new skill set. They're at a crossroads with their career. And, they are more than just themselves. They maybe have a family that relies on them. They're involved with their communities. So it's always bigger than just this person needs a job, right?
Right.
The impact that they have always extends far beyond themselves. So we don't always get to see that. But it's really, really rewarding when we can get little snippets into that. So I can probably sit here for days talking about those specific stories, but I forgot your question, Karen. I just blazed through it.
Well, my question was, how does it impact you? And some of the things that you've seen it impact people's lives.
Yeah.
And there are lots of wonderful stories. One of the things that I remember, and I've carried it with me day in and day out when I come to work, because I always say and remember that every time we pick up the phone is a chance to impact someone's life in a positive way, because we don't know what that person is carrying. Like you said, they may be on their last mortgage payment.
Yeah.
And I spoke with a man, this was probably 10 years ago, and he told me something that changed my life personally. He was at the end of his rope. And this was a very highly educated man. He actually happened to be a CPA, which is people that you deal with every day, people you place, and people that you sell into clients. And I would never, ever, having looked at him, have thought that about him. He was very well spoken. Wouldn't have thought in my wildest dreams that he was about to lose his house. And he said picking up the phone to call us was the most humbling, hardest thing he'd ever done in his life. And yet we found him a job.
Yes.
And it changed his life, changed his family.
Yeah, I believe it. And everyone has, the hurdles that they they carry and the crosses that they carry, and they're not going to show it to, to everyone. You just don't do that. It would be foolish to. But
Right.
working in staffing, we are part of such a pivotal moment in somebody's lives. And it can be vulnerable, especially if a layoff is on the line, or the mortgage payment, or, kids' tuition and food on the table, whatever it might be. It's very special to be a small part of that story. And I might not see the effects. I don't always keep up with people 10, 20 years down the road, but when I do, it is really special.
Yeah.
When, you get that thank you, and you see them thrive and you see them being promoted. That's really fun. It's really, really special.
It is really special. In fact, we have 2 thank you notes out in our lobby from a candidate, waiting for one of our salespeople and one of our recruiters, from a very happy, satisfied candidate who just started a new job, which I thought was just fabulous.
Yes.
One of the things that a cause that I hold near and dear is people talk about staffing and recruiting as a commodity.
Mhm.
And that's not us. We have always done this business differently than other people. And the way we like to talk about it is we care, control, and communicate, which is a simple way of, well, I'll let you talk about what that means.
Yeah. Well, I just got a story yesterday too. A fabulous candidate, fabulous tax candidate that Sarah, actually, our good friend Sarah, actually spoke with, and we got an interview set up for him, and he and I met just to talk about how to prepare for that interview. And he was going through, some personal things, and he was so blown away at how much Sarah really cared about him. And it's such a small thing, but even just remembering that, so-and-so is going through something at home, and we might not know the details, but just speaking to that and working around that so that he feels comfortable and he feels prepared, because the last thing you want to do is go into an interview when you've got a whole tornado happening at home. But just very, very sweet anecdote, maybe.
Yeah. And Sarah truly does care
She's
deeply
fabulous
about her candidates. In fact, she has told me that it's so important to her that they find the right home.
Yeah.
And she cares deeply about her clients too.
She does.
And making that match really perfect for both of them. And I know you do too.
Well, it's story making too. You're being a part of somebody's story, and you're finding that situation where they really can thrive. And like we said earlier, it extends beyond just their own little circle, but their families, their children, their communities, their extracurriculars. It all meshes together, and it's really beautiful when you see that play out well. It's like a symphony.
It is like a symphony. You're right.
Yeah.
I remember an engineer that had a commute that was 2.5 hours long in Kansas City. And we found him a job 5 minutes from his home. Now, talk about a story. He's got to spend 5 hours more with his family.
Yeah, and saving on gas too, saving on a headache.
And he had little ones.
Yeah, that's hard.
And he called just overwhelmed with thankfulness at how it changed his whole family's life. Because when you've got little ones, their time is so precious. I mean, their whole life. It goes so fast. I can tell you, I'm a grandma. So
You are aging yourself, Karen.
Well, almost a 9-year-old grandson.
Oh, goodness gracious. No.
But the other thing we do really differently, I think, than a lot of staffing and recruiting companies is we communicate. We keep those lines of communication open from the beginning through the end of the process. So why don't you speak to that too?
Yeah, even if it's not the best news ever, I think everyone still deserves to be told and to understand what their situation is. So what that looks like for even a client, say a client's coming to us, they're looking for XYZ candidate. Well, we'll be honest with them if that's something that we can find in the market, what the hiccups are, if they need to stretch their requirements or stretch their budget, or what the challenges are. Likewise, maybe the good side of that coin too is we will chat with them about the candidates that we have and what they're looking for and what they need, where their strengths are, where maybe they feel less confident and how we can close those gaps too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the easy answer of that. But in the day to day, it does look like constant communication and text updates and emails and phone calls. And I try not to be too much of a hound. But if we have any movement, we're going to let them know. One thing we do that not a lot of staffing firms do, and I think that makes us stand out, is we'll have those interview preps with them too. And we'll meet and talk through as much detail as we can share what to expect in the interview, what to expect from the company, what they're looking for personality wise, and how that could be a good step to that candidate's story. And yeah, I mean, we can't, it doesn't always work out, but when it does, it's very, very special.
Well, and I think also that when you said the good, the bad, and the ugly, it's not always good news from us to the client, because sometimes it's a shock value up front, because people's expectations, especially if they've never worked with a firm like ours, people's expectations can be way off as to how much it's going to cost.
True.
And one of the things we do, and I think it's a blessing, is we're honest. We're honest about how much it's going to cost, how long it's going to take, and what that person really looks like in the marketplace. Because if someone's never worked with a staffing or recruiting firm, they may have no idea how long it's going to take. And sometimes it's going to take 2 weeks. Sometimes it's going to take 2 months if it's what we call a purple squirrel.
Yes.
Which is very hard to find.
We get those.
Yes, we do get those. And some people will say, oh, we can find that person for you in a day. And it's going to cost a lot less than it does. And people don't like surprises.
Yeah.
And we don't surprise them. We're honest. You're honest up front, right?
Thank you. Yes. And a thing too to keep in mind is we're working with so many different timetables too. You've got the hiring manager's timetable, the candidate's timetable, the market itself as a huge factor too. And some of the best people that I've had the privilege of placing in their new roles, it didn't really happen on the first go. Sometimes maybe they had a bonus they wanted to stay with their current employer until that was paid out, or there was a vacation, or maybe they were a finalist with an interview and kind of the runner-up and things didn't work out for whatever reason. But I think thinking back, my most memorable relationships were all second goes.
Wow. Isn't that neat?
Yes.
Wow.
But it works out for the better. I think everything happens for a reason, and it works out.
It does work out. And the other thing I think is people value honesty. And sadly to say, it's not as common these days. And I recently had someone say, "Are you kidding?"
With honesty?
Yes.
Well, it's easier to hear what you want to.
It is easier
to tell you what you want to hear. But that's not going to do me any good or do you any good in the long run.
Because all we have is our reputation.
Yes.
And I value that very highly. So I'd rather be honest than someone coming back and saying, well, you told us this, and now you're telling us this. So communication is very important.
It is.
And the other thing we do that I don't think other people always do is control the process. So talk to that.
Yes.
Speak to that, please.
I think control comes all the way back to honesty. You've got to be honest about what your expectations are and how that's going to play out in the market. And then we say control. It's, well, how can we fit within those expectations? So every situation is going to be different. No two candidates are the same. No two jobs are the same. And so it's being able to really work in a partnership with the company, with our clients, and work in a partnership with the candidate too, to really find what they need.
The other thing that we do that is very near and dear to my heart is, for years, we have spent our time and our money in the community, and we've done it way under the radar. We've never really talked about it. And that's going to change, because We have causes that we care deeply about. And as you know, every quarter, our employees get to vote on what they want to do in St. Louis to help others.
Mhm.
We've done the foster kids for years at Christmas and um, lots of other, the food pantries and whatever causes that you and your friends want to get involved with. But now I think we're going to do it a little differently. And what our clients' charitable efforts are, we're going to ask them if we can get involved with their charitable activities from here forward. So I'm excited about that.
Me too, Karen. Me too. Especially because then we're working together and we're spreading the mission even
Yes.
more. And I mean, it's easy just to throw a couple bucks at a cause that you care about, but to really get to meet the people
Yes.
and spend time, you learn more about it and it pulls on your heartstrings. So
Right.
I think some of my fondest memories have been working just bagging groceries together as a team
Yes.
or packing duffel bags and getting to be more a part of the mission story.
Yes.
That's really neat.
And making a difference in our town.
Yes. And then that starts sparking up questions too.
Mhm.
You know, people see things online and they want to know, hey, what was that organization about? And
Right.
Again, we could sit here for days probably and talk about how each of our the pockets that we spend time with really, impact ourselves personally too, and watching that flourish around us. So,
And there's such a need. It's everywhere.
yeah.
It really is. But when our hearts join together, we can really make an impact and make a difference in our community. So I'm excited to find out what causes people that we work with care about and to get involved with them, boots on the ground.
Yes.
That's my favorite, when we actually get involved with our time and our talents in our community, because that's really the heart of PEG.
Yeah. And it's
it's-
free.
It is free. And there's so many wonderful people in our town. And I personally think our town gets a bad rap.
It's getting better though.
It is getting better.
Knock on wood, St. Louis is coming back.
It is. I believe in it. I
Yes.
believe in our town. But it starts with the power of one and it explodes from there.
Yeah.
So,
Grassroots.
yes. So, well, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
I love our little company and hope that other people want to join us on our podcast.
I think they will.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story and for
Sure.
being such a.
And yours too.
Oh, thank you.
We just wanna make a difference. Pay podcast.